called Law, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash. Double honors unto the elders and apostles of the great millstone. Peace and blessings to the sincere believers, the hopefully elect of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, listening and learning. It's the brother Hazar back once more with another lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. We're going into the downfall of Babylon the Great. So I have two Zero Hedge articles we're going to get into today to demonstrate that the American dream, as we've been saying for a long time, is done. There is no looking up in America. There is no, better hope for a future. There is no future here, but this place is falling very fast. So we'll start here. Inflation battered Americans raiding 401ks to pay mortgages, and rent. In the latest sign of an economy edging deeper into troubled waters, more Americans are raiding their 401k retirement accounts to cover basic living costs, according to data released by Fidelity Investments on Monday. And pretty much these Americans, they realize that America is on a downward slope. There is no upside. There is no hope. And many of the younger generation, especially of the Edomites, realize that there is going to be no retirement age, because even right now, there are many laws being placed on the books that is detrimental to retirement. Even the prospect of owning a home, raising a family, being able to afford a vacation, a new car, things that the younger generation's parents and their grandparents were able to enjoy off of the back of Jake's labor, now in these days is non-existent. They've been told to go to college. They've been told to be a law-abiding citizen, pay your taxes, work hard, and you can have the finer things in life. Well, now everyone is dipping into their 401k just to pay their mortgages, rent, and other expenses, basic cost of living. Inflation is killing people, man. And in today's time, the politicians, they're complicit with it, because why? This is a part of the squeeze. The plan is pressure from above and pressure from below, the Hegelian dialectic. Put the people in a position to where they will become so desperate, they will become so destitute, wanting of a new system in which they can live. But the catch-22 about it is you're going to have no rights, you're going to have no freedoms. You're not going to be able to go to and fro as you please. You're going to be limited to 15-minute cities. And inflation, which is making people's lives harder, is all a means to get you there, to get you to that mindset of hopelessness. And eventually what the elites want is for the people to beg them for their NWO. Americans outside the wealthiest quintile have run out of extra savings generated early in the pandemic and now have less cash on hand than they did when the pandemic began. According to Fidelity, 2.3% took a hardship withdrawal in the third quarter, up significantly from the 1.8 rate observed in the same quarter of 2022. So it's gotten worse. And of course, as time goes on, things will get worse, because why? This has all been prophesied to happen. The fall of America, Babylon the Great. Many people right now are being made afraid. They're not sure of what kind of future they or their children will have. A lot of people know that there is no future. This is why you have the epidemic of drugs in America amongst the young and old populations as a way to cope with this worsening reality. And things will get much worse. Wait until these storehouses or supermarkets have no more food. Wait until Kroger's and BJ's and Sam's Club run out of products. Now you have to be ration products. Then at that point, it's not going to be how much you can afford, but how much you're allowed to buy. This is the situation that we're coming into. And it's all being brought on by the powers that be. This is the Twitter post. Not sure how there can be a soft landing when credit card utilization and 401k hardship withdrawals are so high, in addition to auto loan and FHA delinquencies creeping up. And I can speak in my personal life. I know people that are dipping into their 401ks. They speak a lot about how high that their credit card debt is. And I know many people as well that have had their cars, vehicles repossessed because they can no longer afford the payments. Also, many people are being laid off of their jobs, So there's a lot going on to where the average citizen's life is now being made a living hell. But see, the truth about it is, this is nothing more than the chickens coming home to roost. When you have a land that was founded upon the exploitation, rape, robbery, murder of people, and that was never reconciled in any kind of way, well, wickedness only prospers for a season. But now it is the season of what? Of judgment. Now it is the season for the wicked to be recompensed. So this is why these Americans now, these Babylonians now, they're having a hard time getting along. This is why now they're having their hopes and dreams crushed, when for so long, for hundreds of years, they've lived high on the hog at the expense of the Israelites, at the expense of the so-called Native American, at the expense of the so-called black man, okay, at the expense of the so-called Hispanic, all right? All of these evils were done, and there was no attempt to make a restitution or to make right what was done wrong. So because you have lived in wickedness, because you have become proud and unrepentant, well, the Most High is now returning your recompense upon your own head. So marvel not that these people are losing their minds. Okay, marvel not that many in these times are being made afraid. They're losing hope. They're turning on one another, and eventually they will turn on their own government. Withdrawals aren't the only way to crack the 401k piggy bank. Fidelity says 2.8 took loans from their retirement balances, even up from 2.4 last year. Withdrawals and loans aren't just a sign of an increasingly troubled economy. Since they sap retirement savings, they also portend a weaker financial future for the growing number of individuals using those features. Starting in 2024, a new rule will allow withdrawals of up to $1,000 for emergencies without being subject to the 10% under 59.5 penalty. Unlike hardship withdrawals today, participants will be allowed to repay these sub $1,000 withdrawals back into their accounts over 3 years with empathetic intentions. Congress may instead be enabling financially destructive behavior. And at the end of the day, it really don't matter what laws they're going to put in place to enable what, because this dollar is on the way out. Pretty much January of 2024, the American dollar, the almighty dollar, is going to be phased out in favor of a new digital system. This has been the plan all along. And inflation making people's lives harder, making their purchase ability less and less. Shrinkflation is also a thing where you're paying more for a product, but you're receiving less. You may buy a bag of Doritos, a big bag of Doritos, and you bust it open, and more than half the bag is air. So these things are real. These things are happening, and people notice, and they're not happy about it. But instead of revolting, which there is some of that going on, but more of what you have is just people struggling to keep up. People are becoming more desperate to keep the wheel going, if you will. You see? And ultimately, when there is no fuel to feed the fire, people are going to lash out and things will become violent. You see? Let's go here to Isaiah chapter 24 and 4. The earth mourneth and fadeth away. The world languisheth and fadeth away. The haughty people of the earth do languish. The earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance, broken the everlasting covenant. So you see, these people, especially in America, Babylon the Great, are being judged. They're being cursed because why? They have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance, broken the everlasting covenant. So this is nothing more than judgment from the Heavenly Father. Now, whether you want to believe it, whether you like it or not, this is exactly what's going on. And you're going to know that this is the judgment of the Lord because the severe plagues that are coming upon the planet, signs of the times. Okay, you're going to have sudden calamities happen. Many more people are going to perish of famine. They're going to perish of pestilence, diseases, rising up against one another with the sword. A very cold spirit is coming into the earth. And at the end of the day, this is all to correct people's wickedness, to bring or to make right what was done wrong. You see? Verse 6, therefore hath the curse devoured the earth, and they that dwell therein are desolate. Therefore the inhabitants of the earth are burned, and few men left. Verse 8, the mirth of tabrets ceases, the noise of them that rejoice endeth, the joy of the harp ceases. So you know what that means? All of the joy when people were able to go on a 2-week vacation and not have a care in the world. You was going to Acapulco and you traveling to Spain on a summer vacation, going to the Bahamas, being able to afford a brand new car, buying it outright with straight up cash. Guess what? Them days are over, man. Okay, the scriptures say that the mirth of tabrets ceases, man. Okay, so the mirth of the land is gone. Okay. You rarely hear people now talk about how great that America is. And those that do speak of America in such a way are under a strong delusion. But those that live in the real world and that are actually dealing with everyday struggles, they know that this place, America, is falling very fast. Even new migrants that are coming to America are leaving in droves and going back home to their own impoverished nations because they feel that there is a better quality of life there than there is here, because they see that there is no more prospect of an American dream. But in fact, the American dream is just that, because you must be asleep to see it. Verse 9, they shall not drink wine with a song. Strong drink shall be bitter to them that drink it. The city of confusion is broken down. Every house is shut up, that no man may come in. Now, the city of confusion is referring to Babylon the Great, or America. The prefix Babel or Babal means confusion. And of course, we know that this is the modern day mystery Babylon. Okay, spiritual Sodom in Egypt. All right, this is America. So going back here, when you see that people are digging in to their retirement savings, that really lets you know that people no longer believe in retirement. They're worried about the right now. A lot of people have the mindset of, why am I putting money into a 401k? When if I continue to live this way, I can't afford food. I'm putting food on a credit card. I'm putting gas on my credit card. I'm putting, everyday expenses on my credit card because I can't afford it straight up. My bank account is pretty much done. I'm through. So let me dip into this 401k, even though they charge me a fee to take it out. To hell with it. What good is a retirement account going to do me if I'm not even alive to collect it? I might as well use it now. So this is a very bad sign for America. This is a bad sign for the economy. And many people, once a new solution is brought in, universal basic income, that you don't really have to work, because a lot of these jobs are about to be X'd out come 2024. All right, things are about to get dark in this country, man. You see, things are about to get very, very dark in America. Let me also go ahead to Matthew 6 and 19. Lay not up for yourselves treasures upon earth, where moth and rust doth corrupt, and where thieves break through and steal. But lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust doth corrupt, and where thieves do not break through nor steal. So the Lord, Yahweh Shai, this is red letter, has commanded us to trust not in the riches of this world, because why? They are corruptible. This money really is worth nothing. There's nothing backing the US dollar except for the time being the military and people's belief that it's actually worth something. That's the only thing keeping this thing going. But once the physical dollar is cut off, which it's already happening, but once it's completely cut off, once these banks crash, once the power goes out, and you no longer have access to your money, and a new system is put in place where they're going to tell you you're going to have to transfer over your dollar amounts to CBDCs, and we'll give you a certain percentage extra if you join in on this process, because this is the new way. There is going to be no escape. There is going to be no alternative. If you wish to continue in this world and have not even the same quality of life, but a decent quality of life at best, you're going to have to get with the beast. You're going to have to take the beast mark. This is what it's already coming down to. This is why people are being put in a position of hardship. This is really a snare unto these people, and they don't even know what's about to happen. But we of the hopeful elect of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, we are storing up our treasures in the kingdom of heaven through our faith and our works, serving the Lord to the best of our ability, coming out of this world and rehearsing the righteous acts. This is how we are storing up our treasures in the kingdom of heaven, not trusting in man, not trusting in vanity such as the dollar. All right, we trust in the Lord at the end of the day. So when destruction does come, we have the faith that we will be in a safe haven, and that we will be safe when calamity does eventually come. Layoffs and bankruptcies pile up in logistics amid shocking downturn. Since launching in 2017, FreightWave's team of award-winning reporters has covered the good and bad news and events in the transportation and logistics industries. In those years, the freight transportation market has enjoyed prosperous times and periods of pain and misery. The freight market undergoes boom and bust cycles like all commoditized industries. However, the impact has gone beyond U.S. trucking and freight brokerages. The problems are not confined to the United States with just trucking. Ocean carriers, railroads, air cargo carriers, and freight forwarders around the world have been impacted as well. So we see that these freight companies, all right, are being hit hardly, all right, and eventually we know what this is going to lead to, because really the way that goods get to these stores are through freight, are through air cargo shipping, and shipping vessels. Okay, so once these industries have a complete collapse, what is that going to mean for the average American consumer? Well, that's going to mean that you're going to have less goods to buy. That means there's going to be a great dearth in the land. There's going to be a famine in the land. Okay, maybe first you'll see that you're not able to go to your Bed Bath and Beyond and buy your favorite candle or your favorite body wash or whatever the case may be. They're going to tell you, we were expecting a shipment, but it's delayed, or we haven't heard anything new. We're not sure when we'll be getting it back in. Then it'll be the food. Okay, food is going to be scarce. All right, and when food is scarce, of course, the price goes up because the demand for food is very high. But when the demand is high and the supply is low, the prices must increase because now that the food that is there is much more valuable. Where there's an abundance of food, it's very cheap because it's pretty much everywhere and it's affordable. But we're coming into a time where things are about to change, all right? And we're coming into a situation where many people are about to be humbled. A lot of stomachs is about to be touching people's backs, all right? And ultimately, much death and destruction is coming to America, man. You see, a lot of bankruptcies are being filed, layoffs are happening all over. Okay, people receiving unemployment is almost at the level that it was during the pandemic, which that tells you everything that you need to know. All right, people are actually seeking out unemployment more now than ever before. Okay, so we see that America, Babylon the Great, is in rough shape. This place don't have that much longer left to operate as an economy, as a military, and as a unified nation. Division is coming to America and ultimately destruction. So I'll go ahead and end this lesson here. Hopefully it was edifying through the Rakah Kadash and closing call halal. Yahweh Bashim Yahushua Bashim Rakah Kadash. And until next time, Lord willing, Shalom to the